Hi there, welcome to Casper Wyckoff Technical Analysis session. So Casper is at the very bottom of the long-term playground zone, this white box that you are looking at in the weekly chart of Casper. Previously we talked about that it's basically within the testing stage with a 20% chance of getting even lower than the selling climax back in October last year. So as of this moment, it is still traveling within this light blue downward channel. So technically speaking, it's still continuing with the test. I'm keeping the 50% here because it means that it may bounce between the red key level of 1 cent and this white solid line of 0.006 for a while before it breaks above the red back to the sign of strength level. That's the 30% chance as of this moment. Alright, and eventually there may be backup or last point of support before the price gets to a new distribution cycle. So that's the backdrop of Casper in terms of the bigger picture perspective. It's still within the accumulation. So let's take a look at the daily chart and see where is the breakout timing. If you're new to my sessions, sorry, I forgot to tell you this. These are the 3 key takeaways you can expect in case you're expecting something more than that. So this is a pure technical analysis session, so if you're expecting some news or juicy information, that's not what you can find here. So here, in case you didn't see it clearly because I was in the previous screen. So we're getting to check what this exactly is, that potential breakout time point in the daily chart. In the daily, we are already at the spring stage, meaning it's way lower than the selling climax back in June. Okay, this long, I wouldn't say too long, but still it's 115 days almost of downtrend since late July brought us to this stage, and you see this support that Casper has found when it reached the white solid line. Okay, so that day, Tuesday, November the 4th, touched on this point, and then the price rebound just got rejected from this orange dashed line. That line is extended from the spring back in early April, and the support it's found is basically the bottom edge of the long-term playground zone. So same as this low point back in November last year. So almost exactly a year. So that was, you can see, right, November 4th. And we were there same date, November 4th, exactly 1 year. That's kind of interesting, right? So if this bounce eventually leads to the this triangle, all right, then that decision point will happen where the big guys are going to tell us, is the price going to continue within this downtrend box, this blue box over here. Okay, that the 115 days downtrend, is that going to continue, or if it doesn't, it will eventually break outside of this triangle and do the thing that I already mentioned in the weekly chart, that it may bounce between these two lines before there's sufficient demand to push it further up to the sign of strength as a first stage. For the sign of strength in the daily chart, compared to what happened just in July, is lying somewhere around 1 cent 40. Okay, that's a little bit different from the weekly. The weekly sits way higher at around the yellow key level of 0.024. Alright, so there's a little bit of difference between the daily and the weekly chart. So let's see whether I've missed anything. We have touched on the key levels, the Wyckoff stages, as well as the potential breakout timing that's coming in a month or less. Okay, this cross is sitting around December 19th or 18th, somewhere around those dates. But breakout can happen sooner than that point. So whether it's going to break to the downside or to the upside, we only have less than a month to find out. So that's for Casper. Thanks for joining me, and see you in the next session.